Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Oh, good evening, Steelers Nation. And all I got to say is it's such a beautiful day in the neighborhood. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Let's see what neighbors I got out there that want to hang out with me tonight. Who do we got for neighbors tonight? Anybody out there want to join me tonight?
We got the legend himself, Hijacker.
We got Hijacker. Out of all my neighbors, I only got one neighbor that wants to hang out with me, Hijacker. That's you.
Well, TA, you scared everybody away after what happened this Saturday.
I did all that. I scared away. Look, man, I was all piped, ready to go, man. We made the dance. I was like, man, we have a chance, guys. We could go to the Super Bowl. I even wore my Super Bowl gear. I was ready to go. Hitchhiker, Hijacker, lip smacker. What the hell happened, buddy?
I don't know, man. We got embarrassed on national TV. I was watching that, man. I saw the earlier game. I'm like, Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. And I'm like, we can't do any worse than that, right? And then we put up that embarrassment on TV.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that didn't happen in that game is there was no turnovers.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There was no turnovers in that game. That might have been the only bright spot or bad spot, however you want to look at it. But either way, I'd like to say, why is it a wonderful day in the neighborhood? Because honestly, I think our team is relieved that the season is over. I don't know what happened, Hijacker, after that Cincinnati game where we were all praising them and Russell for being able to outscore Joe Burrow. I mean, that was like our pinnacle of the season because after that game, it was like an avalanche, a landslide, a mudslide. It was a slide. Matter of fact, I think they're still sliding right now out of UPMC Stadium just to go find a dark hole someplace to hide.
Yep. They're still reacting to this game. I don't know what happened after that Bengals game, but they did not look like the same team. Where did their spark go? They just disappeared.
Yeah, the spark was definitely blown out. I mean, and you want to know what? I'm going to be honest with you, fans. I blame myself. You know why? Because I've been critical of Arthur all season. I was critical of Terrell Austin all season. And my dumbass went ahead and praised them both after that Cincinnati game. And we've been on a slide ever since. It's my fault. Hijacker.
Yeah.
You know what, Hijacker? I'm going to take it. It's my fault.
It's always your fault, man. Always your fault.
Always my fault. It's always my fault. Because I tell you what, 28-14, that was not even indicative of what that score really was. Because let's face it, once they got up 21-0, I mean, dang. I mean, it was all we could do to stay in the game after that. I mean, because really all they had to do was hand the ball off to number 22 or number 8, keep it. Because they torched us for 299 yards rushing.
Damn.
That's not a steel curtain. That's not even a steel. What do they call them? Colanders. I mean, it was not even a steel trap.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life as a Steeler fan. And not only that, but in true form, you know, because when we go wrong, Hijacker, we really go wrong. So we go ahead and submit it into the record books. And by George, we submitted that one into the record books as the worst rushing allowed in a postseason game.
Wait, wasn't it? How bad was it? Worst of all time.
299 yards. I mean, most offenses, think about this, hijacker. We were lucky to see 300 yards total offense a couple of times all year long. They had it in just running the ball.
I swear there's one drive where it's run. They had like 9 straight runs to open the drive or something.
I think it was like 42. They're still counting right now.
Oh my
That'll be a
God.
record too, trust me.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like you said, the game was over by halftime because they had 308 yards at halftime. I even think we had that many in the whole game, honestly.
Well, I mean, let's put it in perspective. We ended up with 29 yards rushing. I kind of looked at that and I was like 2-9 and then 2-9-9. We forgot to add another 9 to ours.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
No. And then even, I mean, Fields. Well, we got to see him twice. He didn't produce much though, did he?
I don't know what he like came into the game and he threw it. I don't know why. I was a little surprised.
Well, I wasn't surprised he threw it. Matter of fact, it was almost like you expected him to throw it. Why did you expect him to throw it? Because every time we've brought him in so far, he's ran the ball. So it was almost the same. Well, if you're going to see Justin Fields this time, the first one, watch him. They're going to throw the ball to say that they're doing something different. And that's the problem. I think that's been plaguing this team for quite some time is there's just no ingenuity to it. There's no surprise. It's just the same lackluster stuff. But let's get back to the game because even though we came out 21 points down, what did we do? We got the ball after we stopped them on a 3 and out. Can you believe that? We stopped them on a 3 and out,
Really?
which got excited. And then we went down and we scored a touchdown. A tutty. We got a tutty.
Yeah,
We
man,
took it
we
with
got this, man.
We got it, man. We brought it back in 14 points, man. We still had the whole third quarter and the fourth quarter to go. And then what'd we do? We just let them basically waltz right down the field and take that 7 points back away from us.
Well, I don't know if you want to call it waltz. They just bullied us down the field.
Well,
Derrick
I'm
Henry
glad.
went for what, 44-yard touchdown there.
Yeah.
He was gone, man.
And I'm glad you said that because this game, we talk about physicality, we talk about steel tough. This was we were out physical from the time the national anthem ended to the time the fat lady sang at halftime to the time we slithered away. Matter of fact, I want to save that. We didn't slither away. This is the thing that even gets me the most. What kind of 1969 love fest did we have on the field at the end of the game? What was that all about? We're taking jerseys off. We're swapping numbers. Hey, I'll see you at the barbecue on Friday. Okay, man. Good luck. Yeah, good luck to you, man. What? I wanted to see James Harrison come running in there and just start knocking our own guys over. What the hell are you doing? This isn't a love fest from 1969, hijacker. What did I miss?
Well, the only team bringing the physicality out there is Derrick Henry and the Ravens because I saw him stiff arming Minka. You see that play?
Oh, man, that was a smackdown like there was no other. And it wasn't the only one that was a smackdown. There was a couple of stiff arms thrown out there that just made us look horrible. And matter of fact, I feel bad for Cam. Cam gave us everything he had. Now, TJ, on the other hand, I'm not even sure he was there. Did you see him play? Was he on the field?
Who are you talking about? I don't remember seeing him.
You didn't see him on the field?
I don't know.
I could have swore he was healthy, right?
I don't know, man. What was he really healthy? Because he's been pretty ineffective in the last 4 games of the season.
Well, the sad part about it is he doesn't even show up in the Pittsburgh defense. because he had 0 tackles.
Wow.
No sacks, no forced fumbles. Matter of fact, I think they even threw a flag on him for picking the rookie right tackle's nose. That's right. The rookie right tackle ate
Jeez.
his lunch.
Well, you know who did have our 1 sack?
Well, let's see here. Is he high on the end and just a
Yep.
little Smith in the middle?
Yep, he's right. As high as I am.
He's as high as you are. Yep. And a tackle for a loss.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good game for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. It was pathetic of the defensive showing and then quite honestly, the offense as well. I mean, so hijacker, we could sit here and we could talk about Van Jefferson's 30-yard touchdown pass because kudos to Van Jefferson. I was glad to see him do that. Or how about the one pass to Mike Williams for 37 yards? I mean, that was kind of nice too. George Pickens came alive, man. I don't know how he didn't get hammered and he was able to squeeze between the high-low defenders on that touchdown play. But that was awesome. I mean, but other than that, dude, and it started out with Pat Muth dropping the ball. I was like, well, we started the game the same way we ended it last week.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm
dropping the
like,
ball.
oh no. Oh no.
So I guess at the end of the day, hijacker, we could sit here and ramble on, but what's your instant reaction?
To the game?
Yeah, just to the game.
Well, I was watching the game and, you know, I was screaming a lot. I was in pain, suffering, in agony almost because of how pathetic we were. Our defense was gassed the whole game, it looked like. Like, I don't know if I can even blame the defense that much because when you're on the field every play, it's kind of hard to stay, you know, involved and, you know, active when you're getting gassed like that. Now, the offense was the major issue, and, you know, I don't know where they go from here because Russell Wilson had this is 5 weeks now where he's just sucked, man. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but he's been terrible, man. Honestly, the point where, like, you know, I would have liked to have seen more of Fields this year because we don't know who our quarterback's going to be next year, honestly, at this point.
Well, I can tell you who I hope it's not, and that's Russ, because I'm pretty sure the Russ bus has left. Now, if Russ wants to hang around as a backup quarterback, man, bring him back on at $5 million a year for the next 3 years as a backup quarterback. I don't have a problem with that. I think that in a pinch, Russ can get us a victory or two. I just don't think that over the course of the season, he's the quarterback he used to be.
Yeah.
As far as what you said about Fields, you're right. It would have been nice to see Fields. As a matter of fact, I kind of half expected to see Fields there start the second half, but that's not Tomlin's way. And quite honestly, we don't know just exactly what he's been doing in practice. Probably been running more of the practice team than he has the actual, you know, first and second team. But you're right. We don't have a quarterback, but we're not going to talk about that because you want to know why we're not going to talk about that, hijacker? Because next Thursday night, I want you guys to tune back in. We're going to have our recap. We're working on something a little special. We'll see if we can't get it to pull out. But next Thursday night, we're going to recap the season. We're going to have everybody on here, our esteemed panel. We're going to let everybody whine and complain. But until then, we're going to go ahead and keep it above the belt. But I do want to go ahead and throw this out there because my instant reaction to all of this is that Tomlin has lost his team. And of course, here we are. All of the pundits now and the national media have all turned against him. And I'm sure that makes Mark mad and happy. So, Mark, if you're listening, you know, kudos to you for finally having them wake up. Unfortunately, though, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But what I do think that needs to happen is I think at the end of the day, this coaching staff needs to be wiped clean. We need to go outside. We need to get some young, aggressive play callers and bring them in here. Your thoughts on that, Hijacker?
Well, I think you're definitely right. We need new coordinators at least because, according to I think it was Adam Schefter said, it's very unlikely that Tomlin will be going anywhere anytime soon. So we're kind of stuck with him, whether you like him or not. But I would like to see new coordinators at least. Terrell Austin, Arthur Smith both have been pretty bad. And it's like you said, when we replaced our GM, like Colbert went out and we brought in some new blood and Weidel and or Omar Khan, they've been doing a lot better, it seems like, especially since Colbert's last few years. And if we can bring in some new blood with our coaching, that could be a huge upgrade for us.
And I agree with everything you said, Hijacker. I can't believe I just said that because very seldom do I agree with anything that you say. But you're right. Weidel and Omar Khan, let's face it, the last 2 years, what they've done to bring in personnel and talent has basically shown the commitment that the Steelers have to this team winning a Super Bowl. But they first got to figure out how to win a playoff game. But that's not going to be easy because their job just got tougher. You know why? They've got 19 players, buddy, on the 53-man roster getting ready to hit free agency. And they've got a few more that's getting ready to make a lot of money. This could be an entirely different looking team next year.
Yeah, I saw the list. It's like everybody, a few players, notable players like Dan Moore, Justin Fields, a few others. The only one really worth bringing back is probably Landon Roberts, honestly. Well, Najee Harris, too, is on that list. He's a question mark. We'll have to see.
Yes, we are going to have to see. But I'll tell you what, one of the things is just looking at here what we got. Culture's not the same from top to bottom. DJ, you're right. Something's amiss there. I'm not quite sure what that is, but something's amiss. I was surprised to see how many players came out today in Tomlin's defense, and they all took the blame, which to me is kind of a good sign of leadership and everything else. But there's still something in that locker room that they're not cozy with. Now, the other thing is bad state of affairs in Steelers Nation. Yes, Bubba, you know the thing that got me about that one is prior to the game, all of the TikTok videos I seen of Ravens fans desecrating the terrible towel, like basically saying, screw you and the curse. And then go out there and rub it in our face. You're right. There is a bad state of affairs in Steelers Nation. Now, we do need some playmakers. But before we get playmakers, I want an offensive coordinator that can utilize playmakers. And we have not had that. Maybe even going back to Todd Haley and BA. I mean, if we really want to go ahead and go back that far, we need an offensive mind guy. Now, as far as anything else goes, it's going to be interesting if we do keep our running backs. I have a feeling Jalen stays and Najee goes. But the problem is with that, guys, and we need to start thinking here. One of the things I said last year, same thing I'm going to say again this year. We have to get better in the trenches. We have to get physical. Cam needs help. Benton is not going to be the sole answer to that. Obi-Wan's going to get a year older. Loudermilk has not come through fruition as we thought he would. There needs to be a stud on that defensive line. And offensive line, probably need a few pieces yet because there's going to be some change there, but we'll see where it all goes. Other than that, what's that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Always right, man. But yeah, we'll probably need another piece on the O-line. DJ said O-line sucked and Russ had happy feet.
Oh, yeah, you've seen that all night long, man. He's back there bouncing around. The only thing that was missing was two little girls on either end of a string singing some kind of little fairy tale to him. The way he was jumping around back there. I'd sing one of them for you guys, but you already got my one song out today. You don't want me to hear me singing any hopscotch tunes. Maybe next week.
You going to drop your new solo?
I might drop my new solo. Me and Lev Bell, we've been in the studio working it. AB's going to produce it for us. Just wait. It's going to be a heart stopper. Don't forget about Martavius Bryant. He's playing keyboards. All right. With that, guys, we're not going to drag this on. Just not going to do it. It's been a hell of a season. We had, again, ups and downs. We have to figure out how to get past the skid. We got to get past the skid. We're getting right up there to dead man's curve, and we're just not taking that turn. And, DJ, you're absolutely right, too. Whoever Tomlin hires, and this is why I think Tomlin needs to get some young guys. Let them run the roost. Because can you imagine if we would have let Terrell go and kept Flo? Because Flo should have stayed as our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Flores might even be a head coach soon.
He probably will be a head coach soon. Probably will be. Maybe even sooner than later. But with that said, I want to, first of all, I want to thank Steelers Nation for hanging in there with us. I want to say I'm sorry, guys, that you guys are suffering the same kind of loss we are. We've got some news coming out, too, next Thursday. Looks like you guys have helped us kind of go to the top, but we want to research a few numbers yet before we go announcing that. So, but I do want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Please tune in next Thursday. Again, we're going to have our end of the season wrap up. I think we got a couple little special surprises for you guys. Other than that, kick back, relax, get ready for the media frenzy to occur, because it's going to occur. And most importantly, guys, figure out who we're going to say go to the Super Bowl. But last thing I want to see is another Patrick Mahomes. What about you, Hijacker?
I want to see him do 3 in a row.
You want to see him do 3 in a row?
3 in a row. Let's go,
folks. This will be the last time you see Hijacker on the show.
Come on, man.
I want to thank you all for listening. 3 in a row. Look, I've seen enough bad records broken already this weekend. I don't need any more.
Oh, come on, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Go Bills. There you go. Bills and the Lions. That's who I'm rooting for right now. The Bills and the Lions.
That'd be
Hijacker,
fun.
KC, and who?
KC. Lions? Yeah, Lions.
Lions?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
could see the Eagles maybe, but probably the Lions.
Well, with that, Lions and Tigers and Grizzly Bears, gentlemen, don't be depressed. Don't get down. I'm not going to say there's next year. I want to see what they've got planned from now until April, because this is what's going to define us of who we're going to be moving forward. Until then, thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. Hijacker.
Yep. Good night.
Thanks for being my neighbor.
Oh, really?
Really.
Yep. Have a great night, everybody. Careful in the hot tub.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.